Bitcoin is all what people are talking about right now. There are thousands of YouTube with everyone and their dog making videos on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and why it's going to the moon and why we should get on this train. We've also seen people, 60-year-old, 70-year-old people, 80-year-old people who know nothing about the internet and even cryptocurrency have come and asked me, should I invest in Dogecoin? Is that a good thing? It's apparently Elon Musk is tweeting about it. But we don't know what they are, so let's dive into fundamentals of cryptocurrency and discuss whether it's a bubble or whether it's a real investment. So first, let's talk about what a cryptocurrency is. So cryptocurrency is a currency that can be exchanged for good or service like any other currency. But is it a currency? Let's discuss that later. So most companies, through something called ICOs, which are similar to IPOs on stocks and shares, have issued their own form of tokens which can be used to access or receive goods and services from that specific company. So think of it like, say, a token or a coin that you purchase at a casino or an arcade to play a game there. So that is what a cryptocurrency is. So many people have asked me how the blockchain works, but to be honest, that's irrelevant because most of us drive cars, but we actually don't know how the internal combustion engine works perfectly, do we? So let's move on. When we come to the term cryptocurrency, the word currency is quite misleading. Is it actually a currency? I don't think so. Even the billionaire twins who are now crypto entrepreneurs, the Winklevoss twins, if you don't know them, they are the rich kids who tried to bully Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook towards his infancy time, have even said that this is gold 2.0, it's not a currency. So why is it not a currency? So let's take a look at that. So for it to be a currency, it needs three factors: a store of value, a unit of account, and also a medium of exchange. Now let's divulge into what they are and why it is so. So let's go through these three things. When you're talking about store of value, the best example that I can show you is the CEO of Kraken speaking about the value of Bitcoin. Take a look.
Where do you see Bitcoin by the end of the year?
Yeah, I know it's kind of tough. I think I said Bitcoin's going to infinity, and that's kind of hard to comprehend because I'm measuring it in terms of dollars, and it might be easier to understand it if we measure it, like in terms of Teslas, right? Like now 1 Bitcoin for 1 Model 3, or, probably by the end of the year, I think it'll be 1 Bitcoin per Lambo, and probably by the end of next year, it'll be 1 Bitcoin per Bugatti.
Looking at this example now, would you want to buy a Tesla Model 3 now or wait for the Bugatti? I personally would wait for the Bugatti. But extrapolating that into a current scenario, say using Dogecoin, if a loaf of bread costs 1 Dogecoin today, but it costs 5 Dogecoin tomorrow, it is not exactly a store of value, is it? Considering the massive fluctuations that we see in cryptocurrency, this is possible and it does happen. So the best example for this is to use Elon Musk's SNL episode where everyone thought the prices of Dogecoin were going to skyrocket, but he mentioned that it was a hustle and Dogecoin fell in prices by 50% in a span of a few hours. So it's not exactly a store of value, is it? So let's go to point number 2, which is the unit of account. Now, it is extremely similar to what a store of value is. If you look at the older times where there were barter systems where one person used to exchange a horse for a cow and someone exchanged that the same horse for 2 donkeys, it is extremely similar here because it is a medium of exchange. So it is very hard to compare the two things. If you think about regular fiat currencies like US dollars or GBP, so there are things that have specific value which are set by the central banks of the country. It is not the case here in terms of cryptocurrency. Now, the third point is the medium of exchange. Currently, all cryptocurrencies have really extortionate fees evidenced by this. And so it's not a very good peer-to-peer exchange platform, and it is much more expensive than using regular cash or just card transactions as well. So with such extortionate fees of over 20% or 10% on an average, would you want to use that as a currency? There are far more efficient systems in place, so people would tend to rely on that. So now that we've understood that it's not a currency and it's a commodity, let's take a look at whether it's a safe haven asset or not. According to me, it is not a safe haven asset. What is a safe haven asset, you may ask? It's basically something that is uncorrelated to the current markets and fluctuation. So basically, it does not correlate with the stock market and nothing happens to it. The reason I think it's not a safe haven asset is regarding the incident that happened today. Today, Nasdaq and S&P 500 dropped by about 2.5%, and Bitcoin crashed from 59,000 to 53,000 in the span of just a few hours. A better example would be using the coronavirus pandemic, when in March there was a 50% crash in Bitcoin prices in 2 days. So, is it a safe haven asset? Absolutely not. So it is not a safe haven asset, but actually a speculative asset, because it has absolutely no intrinsic value. But you may ask me, Gaurav, why is Bitcoin at 60,000, Ethereum at 4,000, and Doge at 75 cents? What gives it its value? Well, the best explanation for this is the greater fool theory. So basically, what greater fool theory states is, in a bubble, you can always make money because there is always a bigger fool that is going to buy at a higher price than what you bought it for. So it is the same principle with all cryptocurrencies at the moment, and that is why it is a bubble. Now let's talk about how to buy the cryptocurrency. So most people tend to buy the cryptocurrency or pick up the cryptocurrency from exchanges such as Binance, Coinbase, and Kraken. Now these exchanges are extremely smart. So there is an old saying during a gold rush, don't go digging for the gold, but actually sell the shovels to those who do. This is the principle they use, and extremely smart, and kudos to them for figuring this out, because they are much smarter than us. But that begs a question. If Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies are absolutely decentralized peer-to-peer payment platforms, why is there a necessity for a centralized exchange for us to buy them? What's wrong here? For something that is supposed to be an anarchy, why is it conforming to all the rules? Many people have also asked me whether Bitcoin will ever go to zero. No, I don't think Bitcoin will ever go to zero, because unless all the governments ban it, and even if they do, there are multiple use cases for illegal transactions, like our dear Doge father has mentioned a few years ago. Please watch this video here.
Do you think Bitcoin will be disruptive in that way? I mean, now it's a speculative currency. Will it be something that will be what normal consumers will use and will disrupt the banking industry?
My opinion of Bitcoin is that, I think Bitcoin is probably a good thing, but it's essentially, its main thing will be, I mean, this will probably get quoted here and there, but I think it's primarily going to be a means of doing illegal transactions.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and this is my take on cryptocurrencies. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.